May you find happiness and peace, and may your home stand the test of time.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary. Today I'll be reacting to another video from Ben Shapiro. Today's video is titled Leftist Challenge Ben Shapiro on Capitalism. So without further ado, let's get started.
All right, hello. I just wanted to ask, so I wanted to bring up the fact that you talked about individuals and everything, and I wanted to bring up a few examples, like, for example, like COVID and, like, say, like the 2008 financial collapse and even like the 1994 crime bill and things like that. Those have definitely effects on big groups and especially like the black community and everything. Like after the 2008 financial collapse, not many people got, you know, like I wouldn't say accused, but convicted, for example. Not many people on Wall Street, the individuals who did profit a lot from those things. But millions of people were kicked out of their homes and everything. And you talk about like things like these being, or America being, you know, based on individuals and individuals wanting to achieve different things. But in reality, a lot of like people are affected by their societal factors, you know, their environment and everything. So I want to get your answer on that and like how these negative effects, you know, affect the majority of people. But the positives, the money gains, you know, the Wall Street things. Not many of the working class people in Tallahassee, for example, feel that. You know, not many people in Tallahassee felt the after COVID or during COVID, you know, the stock market jumps. The average employer just saw a bunch of just empty, you know, employment, you know, options and low wages and everything still, and the same old, same old. So,
well, okay, so I think that the fundamental idea with regard to, it's almost two separate questions, and so I'm going to take them one at a time. The reason I'm separating the questions is because when it comes to corporate bailouts, for example, I'm sure you and I agree. I don't think that any of those corporations should have been bailed out. I think that if you engage in the moral hazard of wrecking your own company, I don't see why I'm supposed to pay for that or you're supposed to pay for that. In a free market system, you're supposed to bear the consequences of the risks that you take. I think that's true across the board. And I think that whether you're a big rich guy on Wall Street and you lose your entire company, or whether you're a guy who took out a loan that you couldn't afford on your house, if you take out too much, that is, as I am constantly saying, a you problem. If you take a risk and then you bear the consequence of that risk, that's no one's fault but your own. And anybody who comes in to bail you out from that, particularly if you're talking about with like billions of dollars in order to prop up a particular lifestyle, that's a huge mistake and it's a huge problem. And I totally agree with that.
And for example, with that, like, you know, we in America, we do bail these people out. You know, our capitalist system does not.
That's not capitalism. That's cronyism.
It definitely, yeah. People say that, but
no, but it's true.
It's
no, but it's
we do bail these people out. And
right. I'm just saying that that's not capitalism. That's actually closer to corporatism, which is the government being in control of the economy, essentially. I mean, who's bailing them out? I mean, are they bailing them out? The government is bailing them out.
Yeah, definitely the government. And for example, we don't get these similar bailouts for regular people. Like, for example, Joe Biden was, you know, promoting just $2,000. You know, we're fighting for scraps. I want to understand, like, where does that come from? Like, why are we so, you know, willing to give?
Well, I mean, the United States does spend literally trillions of dollars on social welfare programs. The notion the United States has no social safety net at all is not true. The United States spends per citizen tens of thousands of dollars on social welfare benefits, ranging from Medicaid to food stamps to unemployment insurance to a wide variety of programs. The notion that we're wildly out of line with Europe is just not borne out by the statistical facts, actually. It's kind of an American myth that we tell ourselves that we don't spend any money on this sort of stuff. It's not true. Since the beginning of the war on poverty, we spent something like $22 trillion on various social programs, and essentially the same number of people live underneath the poverty line.
Okay, and then a last question. So we have this infrastructure bill going through, and you see people like Joe Manchin, you know, arguing over, you know, what is it, $5 billion in regards to it, or just, you know, just a little price difference, for example. Over the past 20 years, we've been fighting wars in Afghanistan, and we spent trillions and billions of dollars. And you have these politicians saying that these infrastructure bills that will help us on our domestic front, these small price changes are going to have dramatic effects on, you know, our future and our children. And that's why they, you know, the Republican Party, they definitely, you know, go for austerity and those, you know, factors.
So the wars, to take an example, the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan were expensive. They cost grand total somewhere between $3 and $4 trillion last I checked. The United States spends about $4 trillion in the budget every single year, and we spent about $7 trillion last year. That's every year, right?
Yeah, I just want to know what that means for the future of our children. If we're willing to spend that much on war, like, what does that mean in regards to, these infrastructure bills, us fighting over these small amounts in comparison to war.
We're not really fighting over small amounts. These are very large amounts of money. The entire American budget 40 years ago was not nearly as much as one of these infrastructure bills. 20 years ago it wasn't. And you just go back and look at the budgeting. So we're spending unsustainable amounts of money on nearly everything in American life. To point out defense spending as opposed to what really constitutes the vast bulk of our budget, which is everything else. Defense spending as a percentage of the American budget is something like 20%, 25% of the American budget. I think it was even that high. That is not the chief driver of systemic spending problems in the United States. It's massive mandatory spending programs. I have to ask you a question. Were you the guy before who I saw a picture of holding the very creative flag?
Yes, it was outside.
Yeah, dude, I got to ask you, Lenin and Stalin? Really?
Yeah, definitely Lenin and Stalin. It's just
Lenin and Stalin?
Stalin
really?
definitely due to World War II.
We're talking about exploitation of people. Stalin.
We do a lot of that in America too. I live in Tallahassee. There's a lot of exploitation. I used to work at a lot of places, and there's a lot of poor people.
Were you gulagged though?
We have prisons in America too.
Were you one of the 30
targeted
million people murdered by Stalin? Really, if you're gonna go Marxist, then please find a better Marxist to emulate than Lenin or Stalin, mass murderers.
The Soviet Union during World War II saved the world. I would say that.
If it had not been for Stalin, World War II never would have started, because it was the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact that allowed the Nazi Germans to believe that they could invade Eastern Europe.
Okay, so I love this. I want to know your opinion, but I'll talk more on the bailouts, how American try to help these big complaints, That is why I always say America is kind of the greatest country on earth, because, we all experience COVID. And you see, the way they try to help, I don't think we normally have that help in Africa, because, you see, even Americans even send, things down here to Ghana, to Nigeria, to so many other African countries. It's like they are kind of, I don't know if I should call them our big brothers or uncles or grandfather, but they are always looking out for, countries that can provide for themselves. And I think, that is a reason why I love American, because of their big hearts, And the fact I think back then when during the COVID, I saw how they were, increase the salary of healthcare workers, try to help their citizens by sending them, money, and, find a way to make life easy for them and nice. I just, love American for that. And that is it. They are extremely, kind. They understand their people. They understand that, okay, now things are not really the way they used to be. So the best thing to make our economy stay the way it is to help out. To help these people, so that at least, because the power of government rely on the people, and if the people work or go to work, the government make money because the people will pay tax. So if the people are if the people are unable to provide for themselves, the government struggle. So the best thing is to make life easy for the people, so that at least they'll keep on delivering and the government will keep on making money, because the money the government make is still going back to the people, going back to more and more development. And I think that is what we need to see in Africa, because I think African leaders are just there to, not African leaders, but the countries I've stayed all through my life is Ghana and Nigeria. And I think that they are, kind of brothers, because the same thing happening in Nigeria is happening here in Ghana. It's like the only difference is at least Ghana have constant light. But when it comes to leadership, I don't see, I've never seen a leader that had the interests of the people at heart. Since I was born, all the leaders that have ruled these two countries, it's just about themselves and how to enrich themselves. Both, military, democracy, and all. I've not really seen a leader that have come out and say, okay, let's make Nigeria great, let's make Ghana great, let's make Africa great. It's not there. And I've been asking myself, what are we getting it wrong? Because every 4 years we shuffle them, we bring in new leaders. Is it that? Well, I don't know. I just feel like we vote based on selfish reasons, not based on competence. Because when leaders see that they are not doing their job, and you are always supporting them, they will keep on behaving the way they've been behaving. And I think we are encouraging them, because if a party should go in, if a party should be in power and the party is not able to deliver, and next time they are campaigning, I don't think they even need to campaign, because I'm not going to vote you. And I feel like if you do your job well, you don't need to campaign. People will want you to come back, or people will want your party to come back because of the legacy you've left. But when you keep on campaigning, you want to always campaign, it shows that you did not leave a good legacy. That is why you are campaigning. I think the governor of my state, when after his first 4 years, doing his when the next tenure came, he did not campaign much, because he knew he has done the work. My state had lights, we had good road, we had several things. I never believed that someone could do something of that nature for my state. And I think the next tenure, he did not campaign that much, because everyone wanted him to come back. And it's just unfortunate that you can only, rule for 8 years. If not, they would have given him more opportunity to rule. That is what politics should be. Give the opportunity to people that have the interest of the country, of interest of the state at heart, not someone that is there to, push the country backward. I think that is what majority of the African leaders are doing. Anyway, this is beautiful. I love this, and I want to see more videos like this. If you have any recommendation, let me know in the comment section. If it is the first time visiting the channel, click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and remain blessed.